What if Deku rejected his sister's love? A fractured bond, an unbreakable resolve, how will he move forward? Let's dive in. You can't be a hero. In the world, 80% of people are born with a special power called quirk. This power turns anyone who possesses it into a superhuman and gives them special abilities, and among them are those who have managed to achieve the job dreamed of by many, the profession of hero. The heroes and their families receive special treatment by the government, which not only provides them with an incredible amount of money but also gives them a social status with which they can access multiple benefits. However, on the other side of the coin are the 20% of the population that do not have a quirk, better known as quirkleys. These people suffer from discrimination and rejection in society, many times more than in the original story, and in some cases they are even treated as less than human. Inko Midoriya. My mother gave birth to me, Izuku Midoriya, and my sister, Izumi Midoriya. A year after we were born my father abandoned us. I don't know anything about him because my mother never told us about him. During my 4th birthday my mother hugged my sister and me while crying and saying, "Inko, listen to me, even though your father has abandoned us, the 3 of us will get ahead together as a family. That's why when you turn 5 and get your quirks, you must train them and you will become the best heroes, and with it you will increase our quality of life, understood?" Izuku: Of course mom, I will become the best hero and I will make you live happily. Izumi: Yes mom, you'll see. Since I was a child I always admired heroes because they were incredible people who always saved people with a smile, like All Might, who was my idol and my role model. Then a year passed. The day after I turned 5, the age at which people developed a quirk, my mother took my sister and I to a doctor who was an expert in quirks, to determine which quirk we were going to develop. Inko: So doctor, what are my children's quirks? Doctor: Congratulations Mrs. Inko, little Izumi has a quirk that enhances her physical strength. I'm sure she will become a great heroine. Inko, with tears in her eyes: What a relief. Izumi: Did you hear that Oni-chan? I will be a great heroine. Izuku: Yes, together we will be the strongest. Inko: And regarding my other son, doctor? The doctor changed his expression to one of sadness and bitterness. Doctor: Well, unfortunately little Izuku doesn't. Sometimes life can be really cruel. The doctor said that because of a strange mutation I would never develop a quirk. My mother was devastated, and in complete silence she left the office while she took my sister and me by the hand to the car. During the course the cabin of the car remained in complete silence. It was hard for me to assimilate that I did not have a quirk, and when I arrived I hunted. Izuku: Don't worry mom, even if I don't have a quirk, I'm sure I can become a great hero. Hearing that, my mother fell to her knees and began to cry while screaming. Inko: Because first his father and now you're Izuku, because everyone wants him to be unhappy. My sister ran to calm my mother down while I just stood there motionless. From that day on, my mother stopped seeing me as a son, and began to focus her attention solely on Izumi, since all the affection I received at home had vanished. I tried to look for it in other places, like at my school. Katsuki was always my best friend. With him and Izumi I had spent some of the happiest moments of my childhood, however. Katsuki: Haha, hello Izuku, I heard that you don't have any quirk, so now you're nothing but a loser. Izuku: No, I. Katsuki, pushing him: If that's the case now you'll just be Deku. Since that day everyone made fun of me, even the teachers. They always called me Deku 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 while they laughed and then hit me. Time passed and I entered high school. During all this time I was tormented by everyone, making my life become a hell. The only light I saw was All Might, my inspiration, and my sister, who by developing her strength quirk protected me from Katsuki and the bullies who attacked me. However, one day when I was walking down the hallway near the girls' bathroom at my school, I heard my sister talking to her friends, so I approached the door to listen to what they were saying. Then, Friend A: Izumi, I found out that your brother is a quirkleys. Friend B: If you don't find it disgusting to be the sister of. That's it. For a moment my sister was silent. At that moment I thought she would protect me. However, Izumi: If you're right, I can't stand it anymore. Every time he gets close to me or even when I see him I get disgusted. The 3 of them started laughing while they continued to talk bad about me. At that moment I felt as if something inside me began to break, and in a fit of sadness I ran out of there. Since that day my sister distanced herself from me, and there were even times when while Katsuki and the others hit me she just looked at me with her cold eyes, while she and her friends made fun of me. So time passed until I reached my last year of high school. Then one day while I was walking I saw an All Might commercial that said, "Anyone can become a hero." Then when I was passing under a bridge. Izuku: If All Might is right, then anyone can be a hero. Don't worry about other people's opinions. I'll be a great hero and tell everyone I'm here just like All Might, and when that happens I'm sure everything will go back to the way it was before. Besides, I have plenty of time. I'm still a kid, so I don't think I'm going to meet a villain and die. But out of nowhere I heard a strange noise behind me, and when I turned around I saw a strange green substance rising. Izuku, no, a villain. Before I could do anything, the muddy villain attacked me, surrounding my body. At that moment, I thought it was all over. My only regret was not being able to meet All Might, but it's all good now, young man, I'm here. It was All Might, my hero, my idol, had appeared in front of me to save me. All Might, Texas Smash. In an instant the villain disappeared, and before I fell unconscious I saw All Might standing gloriously in front of me. It was as if everything I had been through during all these years disappeared in an instant. After a few moments I woke up, and the first thing I saw was All Might standing in front of me. My first reaction was to move away because I couldn't contain my excitement and nervousness. All Might, I'm glad you're okay, I'm sorry I got you involved in that. Izuku, All Might. All Might, good, but in the end I managed to capture the villain while he showed me a bottle in which he had captured the villain. Before I could say anything. All Might, well young man, I must go. On impulse I grabbed All Might's leg as he jumped, already in the air. All Might, no, wait, let go you crazy fanatic. Izuku, please take me with you, I'm your fan, and if I let go now I'll die. All Might, oh yes it's true XD. After that All Might landed on the roof of a building. Izuku, that was scary. All Might, well now, young man, I'm leaving. I tried to stop All Might, but suddenly I remembered everything that had happened. He has no quirk, loser, from now on you will be Deku, if it disgusts me just looking at him. A great pressure fell on me, eliminating my strength to speak. However, I remembered my dream, and gathering strength I asked. Izuku, can someone without a quirk become a hero? All Might stopped, but before he could respond a huge amount of smoke came out, and when it cleared a skeletal figure appeared. Izuku, hey. All Might, hello, I'm All Might. Izuku, hey. All Might as he sat down, now that you saw me like this I will have to tell you everything, but don't spread it. Izuku, it's okay. All Might lifted his shirt, then I saw a huge scar which scared me. All Might, this is the result of an enemy attack years ago. After multiple operations I managed to recover, but now I can only work as a hero for 3 hours a day. This was not made public because it would generate distrust. I'm sorry kid, but someone like you couldn't handle this, so no, you can't be a hero. If you still want to help, then become a police officer even if your job is shameful. After this he left. At that moment I broke down, everything I believed in was gone. I realized that this society was full of hypocrites. After a few hours I left there without realizing that a light blue-haired man was watching me from afar. After a while I arrived home and opened the door. Suddenly I felt a strong pain in my head. When I looked I saw that my mother had just thrown a flip-flop at me, while from behind my sister just looked at me. Inko, damn brat, because you're late you don't realize that you have things to do to maintain your stay in this hunt. My mother always yelled at me like that and I always put up with it, but at that moment I couldn't stand it anymore and I screamed. Izuku, if that's all I'm worth in this house then I'll leave. For a moment these words made a great impression on the faces of my mother and sister, but then. Inko, if you leave like that I won't have to go through the embarrassment of having a quirkless child anymore. Then she leaves. I quickly went to my room without noticing my sister looking at me with sadness and guilt. When I got to my room I looked at the All Might figures I had and full of rage I broke them. Then I packed some important things in my backpack and went down to leave in that. Izumi, wait Oni-chan. Izuku, what do you want? Didn't it disgust you? Izumi, no Oni-chan, that's not true. Izuku, no, then why did you say that? Why did you treat me like I was trash all these years? Izumi, because I didn't want others to treat me the way they treat you. At that moment I noticed, this society is full of hypocrites who do not care about harming others if in the end they benefit themselves. Izuku, I see, so I'm just a strobe for you then. Izumi, no wait. Heil. Without listening to the last thing she said I ran out of the house without looking back. Then I walked for a few hours until I came to a park, suddenly. How are you, kid? Izuku, what? Who are you? Hello, my name is Shigaraki Tomura. Izuku, you look like someone dangerous, so you better go or I'll scream and some hero will come. Shigaraki, haha, I see. So I kept walking to get away from that guy. Shigaraki, however, the heroes turned their backs on you, your family turned their backs on you, everyone turned their backs on you, that's funny, isn't it? Wouldn't you like to prove all those hypocrites wrong? At that moment I stopped, and then turned around. Izuku putting on a serious face, tell me more please. Shigaraki, very well, but first we go to another place, I want you to meet someone. Suddenly a dark portal opened and Shigaraki entered. At first I was scared, but then I gathered my courage and entered. Upon passing to the other side of the portal I arrived at a bar, in which I only saw a waiter whose body was formed by a fog of the same color as the portal I had passed through. Suddenly he spoke. Shigaraki, where were you? I was worried. And who is that child behind you? Shigaraki, hello Kurogiri, saying sarcastically, I was walking around the city and I ran into this kid, I'm sure sensei would like him. Kurogiri, would you like it? What do you mean? Shigaraki, you'll see. At that Shigaraki approached a small monitor and turned it on. The monitor had no image, but suddenly a deep and loud voice was heard. Shigaraki, why did you call me? Shigaraki, Vera sensei was walking around town and I ran into this brat, I brought him because he seemed promising. I see, brat, come closer. When I heard that voice I was a little scared, but then I said to myself, well, I have nothing more to lose, so I approached. Brat, what's your name? Izuku with fear, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I see, you can call me all for one, now tell me why you followed Shigaraki, I'm sure that at first glance you must have realized that he is a dangerous guy. Izuku with a gloomy face, why did I follow him? Smiling with a gloomy face, because I want to change this world. I want a world where there is no hypocrisy or discrimination and to eradicate the heroes who spread these evils. All for one, ha ha ha, excellent Izuku Midoriya, my goal is the same as yours, so you are interested in becoming a villain. Izuku a little scared, a villain? All for one, that's right, this is the League of Villains. Izuku, I could think about it a bit. All for one with a malicious tone, okay, we don't want to force you either, but if you want to be one you can come whenever you want. Now Kurogiri, give him a map to find this place easily. Kurogiri, but sensei. All for one, do it. Kurogiri, okay sir, hey brat, take this. Izuku, thank you. After this I left there and started walking through the streets, meanwhile in the bar. Kurogiri, sensei is sure of this. All for one, sure, I'm sure he'll be back. After walking for a while I returned to the park where I met Shigaraki, where I spent the night. The next morning I woke up and continued walking because I had nowhere to go. When the afternoon came I saw a large amount of smoke in the distance, then I ran to see what was happening. When I arrived I saw a group of people gathered, and when I got closer I saw the same muddy villain who had attacked me yesterday, but something surprised me. The villain had Katsuki trapped inside. Strangely this made me satisfied. But then I saw Izumi, who looked from the crowd helpless. Suddenly Izumi ran towards the villain, punching him with her quirk activated, but nothing could against the gelatinous villain. The villain seeing her. Villain, damn brat, die. The villain used his body as a whip, hitting Izumi. At that moment I remembered all the times my sister had helped me, and I felt an urge to launch an attack, but out of nowhere. All Might, I'm here. Detroit Smash. At that moment I felt relieved, and then I thought about approaching my sister to apologize to her, but due to the crowd of people I couldn't reach her, so I decided to return home because I was sure I would find her there. Later while I was walking I could see her in the distance, so I started running to catch up with her, but suddenly. All Might, I'm here. All Might appeared in front of Izumi, so I quickly hid, then they started talking, even though I was far away I could hear what they were saying. Izumi, AAA All Might. All Might, hello young man, what is your name? Izumi, my name is Izumi Midoriya. All Might, okay little Izumi, I want to talk to you. Izumi, with me? But suddenly there was an explosion of steam, and when it cleared the same skeletal figure of All Might that he showed me appeared. Izumi, what? What happened? All Might, alright, this will make it easier. Izumi, easy, what do you mean? All Might, listen, I'll tell you my story. Izumi, it's okay. All Might lifted his shirt showing his wound, this caused Izumi's astonishment, then. All Might, years ago I faced a terrible villain who caused me this injury. After several operations I managed to survive, but now I can only work as a hero for 3 hours a day, that's why I want you to be my successor. Izumi, successor? All Might, if so, my quirk is called One for All, this quirk was given to me by my predecessor and now I want to give it to you. Izumi, but why did you choose me? All Might, I've been looking for a successor, and then at that moment when you jumped to help your friend you were more heroic than anyone, so what do you say? Izumi with an excited face, okay, I'll do it. All Might looking proudly at Izumi, very well little one, you will be a great heroine. Meanwhile, near that place, a green-haired boy was crying silently. Izuku crying and full of rage. Why? Why does someone who already has power have to be given more while those who also want to help but don't have the power are left aside? Why is this world so rotten? After hearing the conversation between Izumi and All Might, Izuku ran out of that place, then took a paper out of his pocket. It was the map that Kurogiri had given him. After a while Izuku arrived at the villain's bar. Upon entering, "Shirogaki, I'm glad you came back, but I didn't think it would be so soon." At that moment the monitor in the room turned on. "All for one, I knew you'd come back, boy, so what do you say?" Izuku with a determined face, "First I want to ask you what your goals are." "All for one, I already told you, young man, my goal is to create a society in which there are no false heroes, whose objectives are to profit." Izuku, "Okay." All for one laughing, "Excellent, then welcome." Izuku, "But I have a few conditions." Suddenly Izuku felt something crash into him and made him fall. When he tried to get up he couldn't, and when he turned around to see what was holding him he saw a girl, who had long light brown hair, tied in a ponytail with a white and dark brown bow. She also wore a red jacket with yellow buttons, and on her chest she had a white bow. She also wore black boots. She also had a dark brown and white skirt and long white stockings with brown bows. "Izuku, who are you?" the green-haired boy asked as he tried to get away. "If you dare to speak with that confidence to the sensei again, I'll kill you, understood?" said the girl with a cold look, while she placed her sword on Izuku's neck. Izuku, "But I." All for one, "Wow Haruka, I see you're back, and how did your mission go?" Haruka, "Excellent master, those idiotic criminals were completely exterminated." All for one, "Very well, but now free that poor boy you want." Haruka, "Yes." All for one, "I'm sorry for my subordinate's lack of education." Izuku, "No, don't worry." All for one, "Thank you for your understanding, so what were you telling me about those conditions?" Izuku, "Very well, first I will not participate in any murder, second I want to be given accommodation, and third I do not want to be forced to do anything against my will." All for one, "All right then, now let me introduce you. This is Izuku Midoriya, he's a new member of our organization, and this is Haruka. Only Haruka is a former member of the League of Villains, and from now on she will be your teacher Izuku." Izuku, "My teacher?" All for one, "That's right, since you don't have any quirk, you'll have to train your body to be useful to us." Izuku, "If you're right, I need to get stronger so I can change the world." Izuku looking at Haruka and bowing, "Very well, Miss Haruka, I am in your care." Haruka looking away, "Don't do that, it's disgusting." All for one, "Shigaraki, take them to the underground training camp." Shigaraki, "At your command, master." Meanwhile on a beach not far from that place, a green-haired girl was trying to drag a piece of scrap metal on which a muscular blonde was sitting. All Might, "It's not relaxing to sit here, if you could move it would be more fun." Izumi, "Mr. All Might, you are very heavy, also why are we doing this?" All Might, "You see, little one, it's because you're not a suitable vessel." Izumi, "A suitable container?" All Might, "That's right, one for all is an agglomeration of physical strength, an unprepared body will not be able to resist it, that's why you must train." Izumi, "So I'm doing this to train my body." All Might, "Yes, but we also contribute to the environment by cleaning this beach." Izumi, "Wow, amazing as expected from the number one hero." All Might, "Ha ha ha. Little girl, you overestimate me. All of this will be done with your effort. Besides, you want to get into UA, right?" Izumi, "Yes, that is my dream, but also," blushes a little, "I want to protect my brother." All Might, "Your brother?" Izumi still blushing, "Yes, since I was little he was like my hero, apart from you he is the person I admire the most." All Might, "Wow, so your brother also wants to be a hero." Izumi, "Yes, but he is a quirkles." All Might, "Wow, that must be sad." Izumi, "Yes, that's why I want to be strong so I can protect him." All Might, "All right little one, then, let's work together." After 1 month on the same beach. All Might, "Ha ha ha little Izumi, I see that you are late today and I also see that something bad happened to you." Izumi, "That's right, Mr. All Might. You see, a month ago my mother had a fight with my brother and I also realized that I did something terrible to him. Because of all this, he left home and hasn't returned since." All Might with a serious attitude, "He was reported to the police." Izumi, "Yes, they started a search but they still haven't found him," starting to cry, All this is my fault. If I hadn't treated him badly, this would never have happened. All Might hugging Izumi, yeah, young Izumi, I'm sure your brother will return, wait and see. Izumi, thank you Mr. All Might. All Might, by the way, little one, take this, it's your training schedule. Izumi, but Mr. All Might, it says here that I will be littering for 9 months. All Might, you do understand quickly, little one. Ha 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 ha. Izumi. Meanwhile in a gigantic underground room. Izuku was lying on the ground. Izuku, damn that girl is too fast, I can't even hit her. However, Izuku gets up, I will not give up. Izuku starts running towards Haruka. Haruka, so you're not giving up, are you? Izuku jumps with the intention of hitting him, however Haruka dodges his attack and then touches him on the back, causing Izuku to be thrown against the wall. Izuku, that again if it weren't for your quirk. Haruka, come on brat, it's been a month and you haven't even managed to touch me. Angry Izuku, brat? You know you're the same age as me, right? Haruka, that's not true even though we were born the same year, I'm sure I'm older than you by a few months. Izuku, I don't think so because your birthday is September 27th while mine is July 15th. Haruka, how do you know when my birthday is? Izuku, you seriously don't remember, you told me a month ago when sensei ordered us to exchange personal information to build mutual trust. Haruka blushing slightly, so you remember that right? At that the door of the room opens and Shirogaki enters. Shirogaki who had heard what they were talking about, alright sorry to interrupt your moment Haruka but we have work to do. Haruka, it's okay but. Changing to a cold attitude, what did you mean by interrupting my moment? Shigaraki ignoring Haruka, hey Izuku it's amazing that you've put up with this person for a whole month if you could say that. Izuku, what are you talking about Shigaraki, Haruka is a very nice girl. This answer caused Haruka to blush a little, then. Shigaraki, alright then Haruka, time to go. Haruka, yes. Izuku, take care Haruka and you too Shigaraki-san. Haruka, remember that when I return we will continue with the training. Izuku a little unmotivated, it's okay. It's been 9 months since Izuku disappeared. In a bar. One for all, excellent, I see that the training took effect. Shigaraki, that's right brat, you don't look as skinny as when you arrived. Kurogiri, if you have tried hard. Izuku, thank you all very much for helping me, especially you Haruka-chan. Haruka blushing a little and looking away, I only did it to fulfill sensei's orders, besides you still need to keep training. All for one, alright now you're ready for your first mission. Izuku, yes sensei. All for one, very well, then I will infiltrate you in UA. Izuku, infiltrate sir? All for one, if I find out that All Might is going to work as a teacher in that place, so I want you to collect as much information as possible about the professional heroes of that place. Izuku, I understand sensei. All for one, but first. Izuku. Do you want to have a quirk? At that moment those words echoed throughout my head, I had never had a quirk, and the possibility of having one was in front of me, it was simply something incredible, at that moment unconsciously, tears began to flow from my eyes, then. Shigaraki, come on brat, I know this is special for you but talk, we want to hear your answer. Kurogiri, come on Izuku-kun. Haruka just watched smiling from a distance. All for all, so Izuku, yes of course I would love to have a quirk. All for one, alright then. Izuku, but sensei, how will I get a quirk? All for one, it's true, I haven't told you yet, you see, my gift is called All for One, it allows me to steal the gifts of others for myself or other people. Izuku, wow that's amazing. All for one, then Kurogiri opens a portal to my location. Kurogiri, yes master. Izuku entered the portal, then after a while All for One again ordered Kurogiri to open a new portal through which Izuku exited. All for one, okay, remember Izuku, I have given you 2 quirks which you must train in this month that remains for the UA exam, however when you are at the UA you must only use one of the 2, understood? Izuku, yes master. All for one, now I have to tell you that you will not enter UA by conventional methods rather. Suddenly the door rang. All for one, alright, it looks like our guest is here. Meanwhile, on a beach completely cleared of debris, a green-haired girl was screaming with joy while a super-hot blonde guy was watching her. Suddenly, the moment was interrupted by the sound of opening a bottle of soda. Izumi, Mr. All Might did it, and by the way, what is that? All Might, well, these are some soft drinks I bought from the market there, it's even bigger than I think, do you want one? Izumi, yes please. All Might, look at you, you no longer look anything like little Izumi who first came here, you are now a worthy successor to One for All. Izumi, yes, now I can become the #1 heroine and I can find my brother. All Might, of course, but now he's eating my hair, pulling a hair out of his head. Izumi in black and white, what? All Might, I forgot to tell you, to pass on my power you must ingest my DNA, and a hair is the most efficient way. Izumi. All Might while giving him the hair, now don't forget to keep training this month that remains. That day will be remembered by Izumi as one of the worst days of her life. 1 month later. Izumi, I'm finally here, Oni-chan, wherever you are, don't worry, we'll see each other soon. Hello Izumi-chan, so you also came to take the exam. Izumi, hello Katsuki-kun. Katsuki, where is that loser? I mean, where is your brother? Izumi getting a little depressed, he is still missing. Katsuki, I see, however, it's been 10 months and there's no news, don't you think? Then Katsuki saw Izumi who was about to cry. Katsuki sadly, I'm sorry Izumi-chan, I'm sure you'll find your brother. Izumi, if you don't worry. Taking a determined look, now it's time for us to prepare for the competition. If I scream Katsuki. While they were walking, Izumi tripped on a step and when she was about to fall she suddenly felt like she was floating and then a brown-haired girl lifted her up, deactivating the flotation. Be more careful next time, said the brown-haired girl running. Katsuki, a floating power, ha, she's just an extra. Suddenly a boy with red and white hair passed by and Katsuki brushed his gaze with him, then. Katsuki, that guy is strong. Izumi, if it's strong I felt it too. Later in a large auditorium, all the candidates were gathered when suddenly a yellow-haired man with a rocker appearance came on stage. Welcome to my show, now everyone say hey hey, shouted the yellow-haired man while raising his hands. The public. There is today's generation, so much cinema and so much television has made them like this. Well, my name is Present Mike and I will be the one to explain the practical exam to you, in the public. Izumi muttering while emitting a diabetic aura, it's Present Mike, I listen to him every day on his radio channel. Katsuki at her side a little blushed, calm down Izumi, let's concentrate on the exam, okay? Izumi embarrassed, I'm sorry if you're right. Present Mike, okay, we've set up simulated fields of urban areas where you'll fight against simulated villains. In the public. Katsuki, Izumi, in which zone did you get? Izumi, I got it in Area B, and you? Katsuki, me too, Katsuki thinking, alright, so I can cheer her up and make sure she doesn't get hurt. Izumi smiling, it's good that we're together. Back with Present Mike. Present Mike, in each area there are 3 different types of villains, each villain gives a different amount of points depending on how difficult they are to beat. Any questions? Suddenly a black-haired boy with glasses stood up. I'm sorry, the flyers they gave us show 4 types of villains, if this is a printing error you should be ashamed of such a mistake, besides you, the one with the green hair, have been mumbling throughout the entire explanation. Katsuki standing up abruptly, hey, he'll kill you. Izumi, no, don't worry Katsuki-kun. Katsuki, but. Present Mike, okay calm down, the 4th villain is worth 0 points, he's more like an obstacle so if you see him just ignore him, any other questions? No one answered, then go ahead plus ultra. After a while they arrived at an area that simulated an urban area. Izumi, wow this place is amazing, I wonder how Japan's economy is sustained like this. Katsuki, well let's just say the government gives everything to keep their asses safe. Izumi smiling, yes you are right. While waiting. Katsuki, hey Izumi, do you need my help for the test? At that Izumi remembered her hard training. Izumi, thank you Katsuki-kun, but I worked hard for this day and I want to become a heroine on my own. Katsuki, I understand. Suddenly Present Mike appeared on a screen. Present MCI, what are you waiting for? There are no countdowns in the royal battles, go on. Katsuki as he started to run, very good walking. Izumi, yes, starting to run. Already inside the test area. Katsuki, okay Izumi, I'll go this way, good luck. Izumi, yes, thank you. You also try hard. Izumi was running while looking for targets to defeat, when she came across a robot. Izumi, this must be a 2.1, alright here I go, cheer me up Oni-chan. Izumi jumping and shouting, smash. In this story Izumi could already use up to 10% of one for all without getting hurt at this point. After a while, Izumi was on top of the roof of a building. Izumi, well, I already have 45 points, I wonder how Katsuki-kun will do. Then Katsuki arrived at the place where she was. Katsuki, hello Izumi, how are you doing? Izumi, hi Katsuki-kun, I'm doing well, I already have 45 points. Katsuki, great, I have 67 points, I guess with it we are already through. Suddenly a loud noise was heard and suddenly a gigantic robot appeared. Katsuki generating explosions in his hands, so that's the giant robot that's worth 0 points, I'd love to punch him in the face, but it's not worth it. Izumi smiling, if you're right. But suddenly there were cries for help, and when the two looked around they saw a girl who had been trapped in the rubble of a building. Izumi starting to run towards the girl, we have to help her. Katsuki, are you sure, that looks dangerous? Izumi looking with sheepish eyes at Katsuki, please Katsuki. Katsuki blushing, when you look at me like that I can't resist, okay let's go. Izumi, thank you Katsuki-kun. Then they both ran to where the girl was. Katsuki, I'll take care of it, you go get the girl. Izumi, yes. Then Izumi freed the girl from the rubble and then carried her and started running. At that moment the giant robot tried to attack them with its hand, but an explosion produced by Katsuki prevented it. Katsuki, alright you piece of junk, your time has come. The giant robot began to attack Katsuki with its limbs while our legged bomb defended itself by throwing explosions at it, but in a moment of carelessness it was hit by a blow that crashed it against a wall. Then the robot pointed its other arm to finish it off, but before, an immense wall of ice stopped the attack. Then a half-and-half boy approached Katsuki. Are you okay? Katsuki, nobody asked for your help, damn extra. Extra? That's how you thank, and my name is not extra, my name is Shoto Todoroki. In this story Shoto participated in the entrance exam because he did not agree to enter on his father's recommendation. Meanwhile with Izumi. Izumi, hey are you okay, what's your name? Yes I'm fine and my name is Ochako Uraka. Izumi, alright then Ochako-san I'll leave you here, I have to go help my friend. Ochako, don't worry, go. Then Izumi started running back to the fight. Meanwhile back with Katsuki and Todoroki. Katsuki, damn half and half, don't get in my way. Todoroki, you're the one who gets in my way, the heat from your explosions doesn't let me use my eyes properly. Katsuki, what did you say? Damn it. But then. Izumi, smash. Suddenly Izumi appeared punching the robot which stepped back a little which surprised both of them. Todoroki, wow, that was amazing. Katsuki, yeah, how about we leave that for later? Todoroki, okay, let's go. Then Todoroki froze the floor, trapping the robot. Then Katsuki launched himself with some explosions, reaching the robot's head and launching more explosions at it, which weakened the armor on its head. So. Katsuki, hey half and half. Todoroki, yes, I know. Todoroki created a ramp using his ice. And they both shouted, now. Then Izumi ran along the support Todoroki built, jumping onto the robot's head. Izumi, smash. The impact caused the robot's head to explode and then it fell defeated. At that moment a mysterious green hair was watching from the top of a building. Wow, so that's the power of one for all, you've gotten stronger Izumi, however Katsuki and that guy weren't bad either, ha 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 very soon we'll meet damn hypocrites. As Izumi fell, Todoroki jumped carrying Izumi in the air like a princess. When he fell to the track Todoroki fell on his feet carrying Izumi while behind him fell Katsuki face first. Due to Todoroki's action Izumi was a little blushing. Then Katsuki very angry ran towards them. Katsuki, damn half and half what do you think you're doing? Todoroki ignoring Katsuki, hello my name is Shoto Todoroki, what is yours? Izumi still blushing, my name is Izumi Midoriya. Katsuki, hey damn don't ignore me. But then a strange old lady appeared. Hello everyone my name is Recovery Girl, is anyone hurt? Then Recovery Girl walked up to our protagonist and said. Recovery Girl, good job, have some candy. Then he gave some candy to each one. After this the exam ended and President Mike announced that everyone should go home and wait for the results. It's been a week since the entrance exam. Izumi was very excited because that very day she will receive the results of her entrance exam. Suddenly. Inko, Izumi the test results have arrived come and see. Izumi, yes, I'll go, Mom. Going down to the room, Inko was standing there holding a letter with the UA seal on it. Then, Inko, daughter, before you open it I want to tell you that regardless of the result I am very proud of you. When your brother disappeared I realized that I had made a big mistake, I should not have forced their destinies. Starting to cry, it's my fault. Izuku left. Izumi, don't worry mom, I'll find my brother and then I'll become the #1 heroine to protect them both. Inko, thank you daughter. Then Izumi took the letter to her room. When she opened it she found a projection lens that when she turned it on. All Might, I'm here. Izumi, Lord All Might. All Might, hello little Izumi, I'm here to tell you that you passed the exam, and not only that, but I also want to tell you that I'm proud of you. I saw you during the exam. At that time even though you didn't have the obligation, you helped that girl who was in trouble. That's what a hero does. Come little Izumi. Izumi crying, yes sir All Might. All Might, welcome to UA your hero academy. At that point the transmission was cut off. Izumi wiped her tears for a moment and then went to her mother. Izumi, mom passed the exam. Inko starting to cry, how good daughter, I feel so proud of you, I wish Izuku was here with us. Izumi, I'm sure he would be happy too, don't worry mom I'll bring him back. 3 days later at Izumi's house exit. Inko, Izumi you have everything ready. Izumi, yes mom. Inko, I'm so proud of you. Izumi, thanks mom, well I'm leaving now. At the door of UA a gray-haired man was standing, then. Izumi, hi Katsuki-kun, glad you stopped by too. Seeing Izumi Katsuki blushed a little. Katsuki, hi Izumi-chan, I'm glad you joined too. Meanwhile, from one of the hallways, a green-haired boy was watching them. There are those two, I hope they are not in the same class as them. Walking through the halls. Katsuki, what class are you in Izumi-chan? Izumi, I'm in class 1A and you? Katsuki, yes, I'm also in class 1A. Izumi rejoices, that's good, then I won't feel alone in class. Katsuki, yes, well, it was obvious. After all, we stood out too much in the exam by destroying that robot. Izumi, if you're right, look there is our class. As they approached they stopped in front of a huge door. Katsuki, well Izumi, what do you think if I make a spectacular entrance to show everyone else that they are extras? Izumi, Katsuki-kun hopes that you plan to do. Suddenly Katsuki kicked the door entering the classroom which attracted everyone's attention especially that of a black-haired man with glasses who approached him. That's no way to enter a school classroom. Katsuki, huh? That's not appropriate for a UA student. Katsuki, hey you talk to me stupid extra. What did you call me? My name is Lita Tenya. Katsuki, what a disgusting name. Before the conflict began Izumi intervened. Izumi, oh, it's not good to fight each other especially if it's the first day of school. Lita, oh, it's you? Lita leaned towards Izumi. Lita, I'm sorry, after seeing what you did on the entrance exam I realized that I misjudged you, you did see the depth and the true message of that exam. Izumi, no, Oh Chako, oh that green hair, you're the girl who saved me, thank you very much, what's your name? Izumi, oh don't worry, my name is Izumi Midoriya. Meanwhile Katsuki watched the rest of the class while thinking. Katsuki, Izumi-chan hasn't changed at all, wherever she is she always inspires joy and happiness, but suddenly she met Todoroki's gaze, damn it because she had to touch me in the same class as this stupid winner. Todoroki, I didn't want to be in your class either, bomb with legs. Katsuki approaching Todoroki furiously, hey, what did you call me? Todoroki getting up, you didn't hear? Before Izumi can come over to calm them down. Go somewhere else if you want to keep playing. A strange man emerged from a sleeping bag behind the teacher's desk. Izumi and Ochako scared, hi, there was something there. Then all the students started shouting things like, no, a homeless man broke into the classroom, call the heroes, the security guards should be ashamed, yes, that was Lita, but. My name is Aizawa and I will be your teacher in charge, any questions? Whole class, teacher in charge? Aizawa, what were you expecting, a mother goose? If I'm here it's because I am. This disappointed the class a little. Aizawa, very well, if you have no questions, everyone go to your seats, once the recommended student arrives we will start classes, at that time. In this story there will only be one recommended student and you can already imagine who it is. How's it going Aizawa? A mysterious being shaped like a mouse, dog, cat, bear and other forms that only his mother knows enter the classroom. Ashawa, oh, Mr. Principal, I'm glad you brought the recommended student yourself. Hello students, my name is Nezu and I am the director of this school. Whole class, Principal? Nezu, Ike, why do humans always react like that? Well, the reason for my visit is to introduce you to the recommended student. This boy's performance is excellent, plus he was recommended by the number 3 hero Hawks himself. This made an impression on all the students. Todoroki thinking, so by the number 3 hero, then he might be at my level. Katsuki thinking, what is recommended, for me it will just be an extra. Izumi thinking, how nice to have another partner, but I won't let myself be defeated, I will become a great heroine to look for my brother. Nezu, okay, without further ado, you can come in now. A green-haired boy entered the class, then. Izuku, it's about time. Aizawa, well then please introduce yourself. Izuku selflessly, well my name is Izuku, just Izuku, that's all I'll say. Flashback. All for one, okay, remember Izuku, I have given you 2 quirks which you must train in this month that remains for the UA exam, however when you are at the UA you must only use one of the 2, understood? Izuku, yes master. All for one, now I have to tell you that you will not enter UA by conventional methods rather. Suddenly the door rang. All for one, alright, it looks like our guest is here. Question mark, all for one, why did you make me come? All for one, good that you came, very well Izuku I will introduce him to you, he is Hawks the number 3 hero in the ranking. Izuku getting into a combat stance, but sensei why is there a hero here? All for one, don't worry, he's an infiltrator among the heroes and if you're still worried, every so often I check his memories and thoughts to make sure he doesn't try anything. Hawks, yeah, and that's disgusting. I hope you didn't call me for that. Remember, you already did that 4 days ago. All for one, no, I called you to meet Izuku Mito. Izuku, sensei, sorry to interrupt, but it's just Izuku now. All for one thinking, his attitude has changed a lot in all this time, well it doesn't matter. All for one, okay, so as I was saying, I called you to meet Izuku. Hawks, this brat? All for one, if he were to infiltrate UA, but I don't want him to enter as a common student, I would rather have him enter as a recommended one, so I want you to give him your recommendation. Hawks, okay, and could I also refuse? End of flashback. The whole class began to observe him with curiosity but there were 2 people who were observing him for other reasons. Izumi as she started crying and ran towards Izuku, Oni-chan it's you. Katsuki with macho tears XD, Deku. You. Izumi hugging Izuku, Oni-chan, you don't know how long I've been looking for you. But then Izuku gently took her by the shoulders and slowly pushed her away, then coldly said. Izuku, Director Nezu, is there any way for me not to be in this class? I don't like the idea of being in the same class with these 2. This shocked Izumi and Katsuki. Nezu, I'm sorry but we can't move you out of class anymore. After this answer Izuku gave a long sigh, then. Izumi, Oni-chan, are you still resentful about what happened before? If you tell me, I'll make it up to you however you want. Either way, there won't be incest. Or maybe there will be. Izuku, then. Changing to an attitude even colder than your ex's heart, don't ever come near me again. This left Izumi paralyzed who fell to her knees while the rest of the class who did not understand anything just watched. Katsuki, hey, damn, don't you think you're going too far? Izuku, Ka-chan, you really dare to say that. Before a fight broke out. Aizawa, okay, that's enough, Izuku apologized too. But he was interrupted by. Izumi stood up while wiping away her tears and with a determined attitude, okay, Mr. Ashawa, I won't give up on you, Oni-chan. You'll see that I'll get you to forgive me and we'll live as a happy family again. Izuku ignored what his sister was saying and simply went to sit down, then Izumi and Katsuki did too. Nezu, I have 100 problems Aizawa, then I leave them in your hands. Aizawa, yes sir director, well then if you have calmed down now put on these uniforms and head to the courtyard. All, yes. As they headed to the courtyard, the class moved away from Izuku who was in the back, this due to the bad impression he gave. The class members had already formed into groups like in any other class, into a specific group. Katsuki, are you okay Izumi? Todoroki, if something bothers you just let me know. Katsuki angry, nobody asked for your help. Izumi with a smile, don't worry but don't fight please. Katsuki and Todoroki, it's okay. Oh Chako, that guy is your brother right, but why did he act like that? While she looked angrily at Izuku who was walking with his hands in his pockets and a lost look. Lita, this is how your behavior is unacceptable for a hero, much less for a brother. Izumi, no, it's not his fault, you see, when we were kids he didn't have a quirk so others would tease him, so I tried to defend him but one day, I don't know what happened to me and I thought that if I kept protecting him, I would also be associated with him, and they would start teasing me so I abandoned him, this is all my fault. Katsuki, you're wrong Izumi, I'm the one to blame, after all I was the one who harassed him. Oh Chako, that's cruel, but it's not your fault either. Todoroki, if everything is the fault of the values that this society has. Lita, exactly what we need to do is change all this. Izumi, thanks guys. Meanwhile Izuku who had heard all this thought. Izuku, what a bunch of idiots, the only way to change this is to destroy the current society and create a new one. Already in the training camp. An individuality test? They all said in unison. Ashawa, that's right, if you want to become heroes we don't have time for cheesy stuff, and don't worry because you can use your quirks. Kaminari, seriously we can use our quirks. Mina, wow that looks fun. Aizawa, fun huh? Aizawa's change in attitude caused fear among the students, so. Aizawa, do you really think being a hero is fun? Alright, so to make it more fun we'll put in an extra rule, whoever comes last will be expelled. All, eh? Lita, but in that case the entrance exam would be meaningless. Before Aizawa answers. Izuku, are you really surprised by that? What should surprise them is the evaluation method in the entrance exam. Oh Chako, what do you mean? Izuku, okay, Professor could you explain it to them? Aizawa, I don't see why not. Izuku, thank you, you see, I watched your entrance exam, and I was impressed that you placed fake villains and not real ones, it would have even been better to hire heroes who participate as villains. From here on I will not introduce the characters, I will simply put their names so that it is more understandable, well when it is for reasons of suspense, I will do it. Mina, but what would be the difference? Izuku, I can't believe you want to be heroes if you don't understand that. There is a clear difference between a machine and a human and this is that the machine will limit itself to doing what it was previously programmed to do, however humans are capable of making decisions, these decisions depending on the place and the situation could affect the course of events, that is why we must always know our abilities and if we are not prepared to be heroes then we do not have to be here. Aizawa thinking, I see, it's obvious because it was recommended by Hawks. Aizawa, I couldn't have said it better myself, it seems that someone understands it. Then Izuku if you want I can exonerate you from this test. Everyone looked at Izuku, some with admiration and others with envy. Izuku, okay sensei, in fact I would like to participate to measure my skills with my classmates. But then Izumi jumped towards Izuku saying. Izumi, wow Oni-chan you are very smart. But before Izumi reached him Izuku stepped aside so Izumi passed in front of him and fell to the ground. Izuku as he calmly returned to the formation, I told you not to come near me ever again. Katsuki, hey you bastard. Todoroki, how dare you. Oh Chako running to Izumi to help her, Izumi are you okay? Izumi standing up and shaking herself, calm down I'm fine don't worry, looking at Izuku, and I told you I won't give up Oni-chan. Aizawa, alright everyone line up we're going to start. Meanwhile, from a distance, a very hot blonde was watching them. All Might, so that's Izuku Midoriya, Izumi-chan's brother. Although I don't like the way he treats her, I think it's better that they solve their problems between them, but what worries me now is the teacher they got. After what he did last year, I think this is going to get difficult for them. Back with Class 1A, everyone was nervous because if they came in last they would be expelled. Aizawa, well the first test will be ball throwing, but first a demonstration, looking at Katsuki, you are Katsuki right the one who came first in the test? Yes for some strange reason in heaven Katsuki beat Todoroki, well how much was your score at school without using your quirk? Katsuki, 67 meters and what? Aizawa, now you will launch with your quirk and we will see the difference. Katsuki, it's okay to approach and take a ball and then go to the throwing area. Aizawa, when you're ready. Katsuki thinking, okay, I'll apply an explosion to the launch, that will make it go faster. Then Katsuki got ready and as he threw it he shouted, shine. The ball rose into the sky, and after a few minutes Aizawa showed the counter, it marked 705 meters, this caused the whole class to get excited and their fear went away a bit, so one by one they threw it remaining in this position. Ochako, Infinite, the Gordoraka Yugi Crazy Traps. Katsuki, 705 meters. Izumi, 695 meters with 1 for all at 10%. Todoroki, 670 meters, this is because he only propelled himself with ice, and as you can imagine this did not give him much power. I'm too lazy to put them all so. Mineta, 80 meters, bullying Mineta is a classic. Finally it was Izuku's turn. But when he stepped forward everyone became attentive to his launch, even Aizawa and All Might who watched from a distance, because they wanted to know what the power of the recommended boy was, but some. Izumi, come on Oni-chan, try hard. Katsuki thinking, alright, he doesn't have any quirks so when he makes a bad shot, he'll be taken down a peg and I can make him reconcile with Izumi-chan. However, Izuku asked a question that caused everyone to want to call a doctor to have their hearing checked. Izuku, hey Professor Aizawa, could you please not use my quirk in this practice? Todoroki, show off. Katsuki, you don't even have any quirk, damn it. Izumi thinking, Oni-chan what are you planning? Izuku just laughed a little and said. Izuku, so teacher? Aizawa, okay, but if you come in last, I'll have to expel you. Izuku while positioning himself, alright then. To everyone's disbelief, Izuku threw the ball with tremendous force which caused the ball to rise to an enormous height in the sky. Aizawa couldn't believe it when he saw the scoreboard, as he even made sure he didn't use his quirk by using his own. Then he showed the result, which made the entire class excited. The result was 650 meters. Although he wasn't the tallest, Izuku did it with pure physical strength. Everyone was surprised until Kaminari, he must have used his quirk. Yes, it is surely a strength-enhancing one that does not produce a visual effect. After his comments some began to boo Izuku, who ignored them until Aizawa, no, he did it without using his quirk, I checked it. All the booers turned to see the teacher who explained. Aizawa, my hero name is Eraserhead, although some may not know me, my quirk gives me the ability to erase the quirks of others. Momo incredulously, that means he actually did it without using his quirk. Everyone was surprised for two reasons, the first that Izuku really did it without his quirk and the second that his teacher really wasn't a drug-dealing thug. In the test that continued, Izuku also did not use his quirk, finishing in 4th place behind Katsuki, Izumi, and Todoroki. In the end, Mineta came in last, but Aizawa said that due to Izuku's surprise, he did not feel like expelling anyone, so he ordered them to return to their class and then leave with All Might. All Might, and what did you think of the students? Aizawa, they were better than I expected. All Might, and regarding little Izumi. Aizawa, well, I was impressed that at such a young age you can already handle your power, however, the one who truly impressed me was your brother, he is simply a prodigy. All Might, yes, I am also impressed and I also seem to have met him somewhere else but I don't remember where or when. Aizawa, I think he would have been a better heir. All Might, you think? Later at school time Izumi tried to find Izuku to talk but he was nowhere to be found. An hour later we see a green-haired boy leaving school without being noticed by security and then heading to a bar that we already know. In the bar. Izuku, I'm here. Kurogiri, welcome Izuku-kun. Haruka, hello Izuku. Izuku, hello Haruka-chan, you are as cute as ever. This caused Haruka to blush and then she said. Haruka, Tau, even though you are now stronger than me, remember that I am still your superior. Izuku smiling, if you don't worry, I won't forget it. Suddenly a light blue-haired guy entered the bar. Shigaraki, hey brat, how did it go? Did you get anything? Izuku, what did you expect? Of course you did. Kurogiri, you don't waste time, do you? Suddenly the monitor turned on without any image. All for one, yes and that pleases me, so what did you get? Izuku, I managed to hack the system like you taught me and I managed to get this month's schedule of activities and let me tell you that I found the perfect date to kill that bastard who calls himself a symbol of peace. All for one, excellent lol. Shigaraki, well done boy, I'll buy you a drink. Haruka blushed a little, yes, me too. It should be noted that in these 10 months there were several ships between our green-haired boy and Haruka. Kurogiri, the house is calling. Izuku, guys I'm sorry to reject your offer but I'm still a minor so I can't take. If in my story Izuku is a good boy who follows the alcoholic law XD. All, come on, we're villains, don't be a party pooper.